It's Thursday, February 22nd. Welcome to your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including charges against TV host Steve Wilkos, state police investigating a murder-suicide, and much more. Kevin Coleman in for Frank Granito today with a look at your forecast and a Nutmeg Sports Update. And it's also Front Page Thursday, so later on we'll be previewing the front pages of our community newspapers this week. But first, nationally syndicated television host Steve Wilkos, who's 53 years old and a resident of Norotan Heights in Darien, was arrested Wednesday evening after turning himself in at Darien Police Headquarters. Our own Darien Times broke the news that he was charged with operating a motor vehicle under the influence and failure to drive right, stemming from a one-vehicle accident back on January 21st in Norotan Heights. Now, Darien Police said that on that date at approximately 4:20 in the afternoon, an officer on patrol discovered a one-car motor vehicle accident on West Avenue in the area of Turnabout Lane. Now, the lone occupant of the vehicle was identified as Steve Wilkos. Now, due to Wilkos' injuries and the severity of the accident, he was transported to Stanford Hospital for further evaluation and treatment. As part of the investigation, officers secured a search warrant for Wilkos' medical records, which indicated that his blood alcohol content was 0.29% over the legal limit the afternoon that he crashed his car. Well, after learning that there was a warrant for his arrest, Wilkos turned himself in at Darien Police Headquarters on Wednesday. Now, back in January, Wilkos talked to TMZ about the accident and denied at the time that he had consumed any alcohol prior to that crash, and it was said it was caused by him reaching for his glasses. More on that story at DarienTimes.com. And the Connecticut State Police are investigating a murder-suicide in Essex. On February 20th, troopers responded to 31 Prospect Street in Essex to conduct a well-being check on residents there. Well, upon making entry into the home, troopers found two deceased persons inside, later identified as 72-year-old Susan Barron and 72-year-old Joseph Reefer. Both lived at that residence. Now, detectives from the Central District Major Crime responded to the scene and have assumed that investigation. Initial findings indicate that this incident was a murder-suicide. Police say there is no threat to the public. Now, the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner conducted a post-mortem examination and determined that the cause of death of the male was a gunshot wound and the manner of death was suicide, and the cause of death of the female was a gunshot wound and the manner of death was a homicide. And in other news, two Norwalk juveniles, 16 and 17 years old, were issued summonses after two iPhones were missing from two separate backpacks at New Canaan High School. This happened on Friday, February 2nd around 7:50 at night when police were called after two iPhones were found missing from backpacks that had been left in the lobby area of the gym at the high school during multiple sporting events. Now, during a review of video surveillance, two boys were seen stealing those iPhones. Through a joint investigation of the New Canaan Police, SRO, and Youth Sergeant and Norwalk Police, both suspects were identified. On February 21st, both male juveniles surrendered to the New Canaan Police and were issued summonses. Now, the 16-year-old male juvenile was issued a summons for 5th-degree larceny for a stolen iPhone 8, and the 17-year-old male was issued a summons for 6th-degree larceny for a stolen iPhone 6. And in Monroe, another rash of car thefts and burglaries overnight between Thursday, February 15th and Friday, February 16th has police once again warning residents to lock their vehicles. Now, for police, Friday began at 5:15 a.m. with a report of a suspicious vehicle on Pepperidge Road. When officers arrived, police said they discovered that a gray pickup truck had been stolen out of Fairfield. Now, nearly 2 hours later on Boot Shop Lane, a resident reported both his gray 2017 Ford Expedition and his 2015 Ford F-150 had been stolen from his driveway overnight. Police said the owners left the keys in the cars, which were recovered Saturday in separate locations but undamaged in Bridgeport. Now, tools and a camera were stolen from the vehicles, according to police. Now, Monroe police were also called to two other incidents in which someone reportedly went through unlocked vehicles overnight. First at Boot Shop Lane home and again at a Brookside Drive residence. In that case, headphones were stolen. More on that story at MonroeCourier.com. And in other news, Fairfield County students are adding their voices to the national conversation about guns. Now, Wilton High School student 16-year-old Isabella Siegel spoke about why she organized an anti-gun rally in Ridgefield's Ballard Park yesterday, Wednesday evening. Take a look.
Real quick, what got you started with the project?
Yeah, so I was really fed up after everything that happened in Florida, and I realized, like, we need to make a change and we need to make one now. As a teenager, I realized, you know, it's up to us and no one else. So that's why I wanted to make a change to get other people inspired.
Do you have any definite ideas of what you'd like to see in terms of legislation? Or?
Right now, I just want to hear what everyone has to say. I want to listen to our politicians and our congressmen, and I want to hear both sides and then kind of figure it out.
Now, Siegel joins fellow Fairfield County student Lane Murdoch, who helped launch the national student walkout movement last week following that high school shooting in Parkland, Florida that claimed the lives of 17 people. Now, at the rally yesterday, local politicians, including Senate Majority Leader Bob Duff, First Selectman Rudy Marconi, and Congressman Jim Himes were in attendance. Now, the Ridgefield Press spoke with Congressman Himes. Take a look.
To get young people interested, but obviously these young people saw something in Parkland, Florida, which horrified them, and they got mobilized. And they got mobilized around an issue where we can make a lot of progress as a country. A lot of progress, by the way, that isn't, zero-sum, that isn't taking away anybody's rights. Progress that will allow a lot more Americans to be safe and live their lives out. And it's going to be through the energy and commitment of young people like this that wave crests and ultimately brings change about.
Now, there's so much more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. But let's take a turn now, throw it over to Kevin Coleman to get a look at your forecast. Kevin.
Thank you, Kate. As we move from 70 degrees yesterday, we move into 40 degrees and raining, possibly some freezing rain as well as we look into the afternoon and your commute home. A high of 40 today. Tonight, it's going to get down low into the low 30s. We look to tomorrow on Friday, cloudy with on and off rain showers throughout the afternoon with a high near 40. And throughout the weekend on Saturday and Sunday, just on and off showers, a high of 53 throughout the weekend. Just going to be a complete washout, I think, this weekend, unfortunately. But we do have some exciting FCAC basketball championships coming up and hockey as well. I'll get you caught up with some Nutmeg Sports Update pretty soon. That'll do it for your weather update. Kate, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. We're going to step out for a break, come back with more local news and your Nutmeg Sports Update after this. Set sail on a summertime adventure with Sail Away Sailing School. Located in Captain's Cove Seaport in Bridgeport, we're sailing June 18th through August 10th. 2 sessions offered daily, Monday through Friday for ages 9 to 15. Have fun, make friends, learn to sail. Visit teamsailaway.com.
At Pamby Motors, we're not worried about being the biggest dealership. We're focused on being the best. We're dedicated to giving you the best experience we can. The Pamby Motors team is here to help you choose the right Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram in a friendly, pressure-free environment. And right now, during Ram Truck Month, get up to $14,000 off on all in-stock 2017 Ram 1500 pickups. Come in and see us for details. Visit Pamby Motors, Route 7 in Ridgefield, PambyZone.com.
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light, the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
Welcome back to this Thursday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and 1 week after the shooting at Marjorie Stoneham Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, the Shelton School District plans to hold a public forum to address concerns and discuss what it does to assure student safety. Now, Shelton Mayor Mark Loretti said the need to discuss safety plans and preventative measures is a result of the world changing for the worse. Now, Loretti said in part the ways in which people are committing these terrible acts are becoming harder to read, which is all the more reason for us to be more aware of who we have around. Now, Superintendent of Schools Dr. Chris Clowett said the district will hold its community forum on Tuesday, February 27th in Shelton High School at 6:30 p.m. Clowett said the forum is a joint effort among law enforcement, city government, and the school district. You can get more at sheltonherald.com. And in other Shelton news, a 25-unit apartment building with 4 ground-level retail spaces is being proposed for Howe Avenue in the southern part of downtown Shelton. Now, the 4-story structure would be built at 356-368 Howe Avenue, where Donut Stop is now located. Now, initial indications are that Donut Stop would remain at the site, becoming one of those retail tenants. Well, the developer of Riverwalk Place is Perry Pettis of Shelton, who owns 2 local diners. Pettis could not be reached for comment by the Shelton Herald, but a Planning and Zoning Commission public hearing on that application is scheduled for February 28th. The applicant is seeking to modify a planned development district approved for most of that site in 2007. Now, that parcel is 0.5 acres and connects to Cornell Street, where a second driveway would be built. That development would also have 26 parking spaces. The latest application includes 2 small strips of land that aren't in the old PDD, one abutting Cornell Street and the other on a city-owned property that the developer would purchase for additional parking. And in Stratford, whether to change an old zoning regulation that prohibits multifamily developments from being built in most of Stratford may get a fresh look this year. Now, Section 5.3 of the town's zoning regulations, enacted more than a half-century ago, essentially bans the construction of new buildings with more than 8 apartments or condominium units by instituting what is called a bedroom equivalency cap. Now, Jay Habansky, the Stratford Planning and Zoning Administrator, said he's never seen a similar zoning regulation anywhere else. Habansky said he's discussed the town's bedroom equivalency cap with other municipal planners who have decades of experience, and they've also never heard of anything like that before. Well, there are exemptions to that Stratford regulation. The cap doesn't apply to 8-30G affordable housing developments or in the transit-oriented development, Army Engine Plant and Shakespeare Theater Special Overlay Zone districts, or any new overlay district that might be created and made exempt. Much more on that story at StratfordStar.com. And New Canaan's Caffeine and Carburetors event, to be held at Waveney Park on June 17th and then on October 21st, will now be limited to 700 vehicles being displayed, and spectators will have to park at New Canaan High School. Well, the Parks and Recreation Commission went over the contract to use that park with organizer Doug Zumbach at its February 14th meeting. The event, held at different times in Waveney Park and downtown New Canaan over the past few years, has grown in popularity to the point where Parks and Rec members wanted to set some new rules. Now, Commission Chairman Sally Campbell said town officials met with Zumbach to go over what they wanted to incorporate into the new agreement, updating the original 2015 contract, and that's been accomplished to the satisfaction of both sides. She said she's comfortable with the specifics, but if crowd size problems arise in the June event, it might not be allowed at the park in October. In addition to limiting the displayed vehicles to 700, their owners will also have to register in advance to participate. Much more on that story at ncadvertiser.com. But let's throw it over to Kevin Coleman now for your Nutmeg Sports Update. Kevin.
Thank you, Kate. Last night, the HN Network was live at the Darien Ice House for 2 FCX semifinal games between Greenwich and Richfield, and then the classic rivalry between Darien and New Canaan. Greenwich took down Richfield 3-0, and in the second semifinal game, well, it was a thriller, all right. Double overtime, the Rams were able to beat their bitter rival 3-2 thanks to freshman Courtney O'Connell, who scored with a minute 30 left in the second overtime. Let's take a look now at those highlights from last night.
Back come the Rams. Bruno taking this one in stride, looking to work up ahead. Curry to her left. That's where she goes with it, and the shot got blocked down. Bruno trying a couple of stuff attempts, and it's a goal!
But coming across,
and she's right back on it. Big shot, McCarthy, and the save made by Kreppen. Out in front, Curry scores! Down to 10, as up ahead comes Vandenbroek. Going wide around Sparks. Vandenbroek to the back end. Another save. It's in! And they'll have plenty more time to kill now as Cassidy looks up ahead and connects with Bevel.
Yeah, I mean,
Vandenbroek's going to the far post. They get the pass over. The shot. Score! Free hockey on the HAN Network as we get ready for overtime in the girls' FCX semifinals. Get one, unlikely. We'll see a penalty short of assault or grand larceny. All the way to the net is Benson. Turnaround as it's loose in the slot. Poked far free by Dean, but a save made ultimately by Kreppen. Calling for it at the point was Kate Drugan. That shot just went wide. Trying to clear the zone, and now up with it comes Quincy Connell. Connell tried the curl and drag, Tropsel read it all the way, and now she's got a head of steam up the other way. Tropsel to the middle, and that shot went wide of everything. Wraparound attempt by, that was Benson with it, still trying to shove at it. It's still loose, and now collected at the point by Eccleston. Great play that time by Vandenbroek, denying the wraparound. Eccleston working towards the slot, lets the wrister go, and Kreppen makes the sliding save. On the boards, here's Courtney O'Connell, winds up and lets it go, she scores!
What a game.
It's the freshman's 11th goal of the season, her 23rd point, and it will send New Canaan to the FCAC championship for the first time in 6 years. Darien will not play for a conference title.
What a night for girls hockey in the FCAC. O'Connell's game winner sends number 2 New Canaan into the FCAC championship game where they will take on number 1 Greenwich, who is the defending FCAC champions. That game will be on Saturday at 12:40. And speaking of great women's hockey, how about last night? The Americans, the U.S. women's national team, they win and they take home gold against Canada 3-2 in a shootout. What a game it was last night. I had to stay up till 2 a.m. It was totally worth it, though. Great game for the women that they take home the gold for the first time since 1998. Shout out to the women's there. Go USA. It might be. Tune in Nutmeg Sports at 2 p.m. with myself and Frank Granito. We will break down all the hockey we saw from last night as well. We finally know now what the matchups will be in boys basketball. The quarterfinals, they are set for Saturday, and we will break down the big game tonight, of course, the FCAC Girls Basketball Championship game between Trumbull and Wilton. That'll do it for your Nutmeg Sports Update. Kate, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. And we are going to step out for a break. When we come back, John Kovac joins me to preview our front pages this week after this.
Get a fresh start to the new year by shaking up your meal routine. Walter Stewart's Market is your local source for a delicious selection of fresh and convenient salad shakers, like Southwest salad with chicken, Cobb with organic chicken, Power Vegan with fruit and quinoa, Greek salad with tabbouleh, and grilled shrimp with hominy. Grab one from our salad case or order from our deli today. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Our Ram trucks get the job done with unparalleled style and performance. Call, click, or stop in to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck that you've been looking for. Family owned and operated for over 50 years. Save thousands right now at the President's Day event and Ram Truck Month. Ends February 28th.
At Galt, we always put you first. As your full-service home heating partner, we provide expert delivery, installation, and maintenance for all your heating needs with knowledgeable, friendly professionals that give you peace of mind 24/7. Galt Family Companies, you first since 1863.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care gives you direct access to orthopedic specialists fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care can help. Open 7 days a week now at 3 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue, Norwalk, 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien, or in the Westport Medical Center at 323 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Go to myorthoct.com, like them on Facebook.
Welcome back to this Thursday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm joined now by John Kovac, our editorial director, to preview our front pages this week. John, what are you looking at first?
I'm looking at the Shelton Herald and two kind of disturbing school stories in the lead. One, the arrest of a juvenile who broke into a Catholic school in Shelton, and so much graffiti and vandalism that they had to close for a day, plus the district's response to the school shooting in Florida. A dog from Shelton won again in a national obedience contest. There could be retail and office space coming to Lower Bridgeport Avenue, and also what could be the future of Huntington Center.
All right, well, I'm taking a look at the New Canaan Advertiser this week. First Selectman Kevin Moynihan saying that he thinks that Hartford's budget issue is having a real estate impact in New Canaan. More on that. Also, town retail trying to evolve. Foot traffic has been slumping, but there's some innovation that is well poised and on the way. And a nice story, and that's that a new fire truck arrived on Valentine's Day for the fire department. So congrats to them. I know that's always exciting.
In Monroe, the fire chief is unearthing some artifacts that found only in Monroe. Residents there, as well as throughout the area, being urged to lock their vehicles. Maple syrup time, one of my favorite times of the year. And the Monroe Police Department among the top fundraisers for Connecticut Special Olympics.
All right, taking a look at the Stratford Star this week. Some photos of people enjoying that spring-like weather that we had this week, which is now gone. So, also, special election on Tuesday to find out who will succeed Laura Hoydick in the 120th District. That coming up. Story we talked about previously, and that's a man charged with attempted murder in Stratford last week. And this arbitrary rule about an apartment ban in most parts of town. More on that in the Stratford Star.
Trumbull Day is returning to June for the first in years, and there's some excitement about that. Herbst to Herbst. Get out. Tim Herbst, the former first selectman, clashing with Yukon President Susan Herbst. They are not related. A Trumbull student charged after a threat and a photo were found online, and that comes after a foul smell forced evacuation of Trumbull High School.
All right, taking a look at the Easton Courier this week, the school chief presenting a path to a 3.5% budget increase. So more on that in this week's Easton Courier.
The Darien Times with a photo of an annual tradition in Darien. That's the Countdown to Spring sign on Middlesex Road. FOI requests have dropped in recent months. An area student is part of a national movement, something you talked about on CT Pulse yesterday, and a snag in plans for town use for fields that were once part of the Oxbridge Hunt Club.
All right, taking a look at the Weston Forum this week, a petition has been submitted to send a proposed dog park to a vote by the public. And a cool photo, a resident spotting a bobcat near her home in Weston, a snow-covered bobcat. So very cool there.
Some photos of fun in the snow that preceded the 70-degree days. This in the Wilton Bulletin. That was at the old Gilbert and Bennett School. Wilton's connection to the flag raising on Iwo Jima. And the Russells being honored for their longtime support of the Wilton Library.
All right, taking a look at the Ridgefield Press this week, an Army vet is now the town's animal control officer. And as you mentioned earlier, that Ridgefield student leading a national movement for gun control. And a cool photo of a unicorn in the snow. Always love to see that.
Students and parents at Joel Barlow High School in Reading discussing the pros and cons of a school resource officer, and some more sledding fun at Gilbert and Bennett.
All right, taking a look at the Milford Mirror this week. St. Patrick's Day leaders for the parade getting their sashes this week. Also, burglars targeting Milford. About 16 residential burglaries have been reported in the past 2 months. And this is a cool story we talked about on Coffee Break. A local church is going to hold a Sunday service at a brewery, and that's going to be on March 18th. So very cool there.
In our arts and leisure, a look at spring recipes and the Greater Bridgeport Symphony.
All right, we also have our Golden Years section out this week. A neat piece on creativity and how that doesn't have an expiration date, and much more inside the Golden Years section, John. But we still have a busy day coming up on the HAN Network.
We do. Yankee Fisherman at 1. I will be talking about the Hartford Boat Show and another chance to see the fly fishing film tour and support local conservation projects. And then on Nutmeg Sports at 2, Frank Kevin, and I'm sure I'll be making an appearance, and we'll be discussing tonight's girls basketball final, Saturday's boys basketball quadruple header, and a tremendous girls hockey game last night that was not in South Korea, but in Darien, went double overtime, and it was a thriller.
Wow. All right. We are going to wrap things up here on your coffee break. We won't be in tomorrow because everyone's going to be getting ready for a very busy day on Saturday. But we'll see you on Monday with the latest local news and more. Have a great day.